Hey, what's going on with it once again, ladies and gentlemen? Fanboys and fangirls alike, this is the one, the only Mr. Chris is near 2009, aka Nintendo for 2011. Before I begin really quick, I actually heard about this news once again from another, that not real funny ass crazy conspiracy theory dude, but really, I would be probably considered a conspiracy theorist too, because I already know about that Freemasonist, Illuminati shit and everything, the World Order, globalist, police state, tyrannical government, whatever the hell you want to call them. They're just pure fucking evil, obviously. That's nothing new if you've been away for as long as I have been, obviously. Even though I've been away for that gold and silver and the bankster shit until like, I think it was 2009 or 10, it was one of those 2 years, so it's only been a few years for that. But as far as the Illuminati Freemasonist shit, I've known about that since I was way back when I was like 10, 11 years old, so I already knew about that and the Armageddon and shit way before I knew about banking cartel stuff. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. So Mark Dice, he actually talked about this yesterday, about this smartphone like cover-ups, that black signals from like whatever the NSA talks about or whatever. Doesn't really talk about. They keep a lot of shit secret and behind closed doors. Obviously, that's nothing new to anyone that's been awake, as long as people like me have been awake for it, And then they might have talked about Edward Snowden and shit like that. Matter of fact, I was even watching a little bit of the mainstream media shit. Earlier today, that Obama was talking about Edward Snowden, if he's going to be indicted or like getting the amnesty back for the United States again. He couldn't comment on it, obviously, because he's a stupid ass puppet. And I was just shaking and face palming so fucking hard. It was just fucking ridiculous. It's funny how these New World Order governments have such a grasp for these puppets, besides Obama and shit, because he's not the only one that runs this fucking world, unfortunately. He's just the one he's pretty much a pawn in what those rich, silly ass fucking families like I'm trying to remember their names, like the Rockefellers or the Jamie Dimons of the fucking world. That's what it really comes down to. Before I do keep going on, this video is brought by a really cool ass drink right there. I did do a video on that dude being a fucking Freemasonist, unfortunately, but I gotta admit one thing, his drink is not too bad, unfortunately. So don't call me a hypocrite on that, and I'm probably gonna end up having to block you if you do, unfortunately. But unfortunately, other than that, and just shit just gets worse, sadly, because the collapse of the dollar could be any day. It could happen today, tomorrow, next week, next month, year, decades, centuries from now. Who fucking knows? Or even eons or millenniums, which I doubt that'll happen. But I'm willing to bet maybe years or decades at the most. But other than that, let's get back to this new wallet thing. It's supposed to block traffic jam signals so people don't end up like hacking into other people's phones and conversations and shit like that. I for one, I think it's not that bad. It's a pretty good ass fucking device to use. Mark Dice was saying, oh, this is the way to get the sheeple, the masses, stupid zombies or whatever, because he likes to call them zombies all the time. People are asleep in the mainstream media and shit. At least I know I'm not that harsh on stupid ass people like that. And then sometimes I kind of am, but he takes it on a way higher level. Plus he's got like almost 1 million subs, so a lot more people know about him than they will about me, obviously. Another crazy ass thing about this, which is actually not a good thing, it's waterproof, as you saw right there. It's real fucking good there. So if you don't want anyone hacking into your phone or whatever, highly suggest you buy it. It's like 40, 50 bucks, so it is a little pricey. Depends on what kind of lifestyle you're living. Unless you're like a billionaire motherfucker, and that shit's gonna be cheap as fuck for you. And then the last two things I'm gonna say about it, another really thing is that it keeps some of the tyrannical government, because I know it's very, very few people that work for the government that's actually legitimately wants what's best for the American people. As crazy as that shit sounds, I know about this. And at the same time, unfortunately, most of them, they really don't give a shit about us. Let's be fucking honest. They just want you to keep on handouts, keep you going on Obamacare and shit, which, thank God, I don't fucking have, and I never really want to get that shit ever, even though I have, like, 2 working jobs and shit, but I'm not going to get into that. And then the last thing I will say about this device is that it keeps anyone that's, want to be a nosy little fucking bastard in your conversations with your friends or family or loved ones that are out there. And just pray to God this shit doesn't end up going all the way up to the Antichrist, because eventually that's probably what's going to come down to when Google ends up making something that hacks into your fucking brain. Just like if anyone's ever anyone's ever been familiar, I know I'm an anime manga fan too, not trying to get off topic too much. If any of you guys have ever heard of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, that's probably what the world's going to end up being in about 10 or 15 fucking years. The rate and the pacing that technology's going, I wouldn't be surprised if people, they just start hacking their computers into their brains and into their minds. I'll put the link down below if any of you guys aren't familiar with Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. Really awesome anime. If anyone, my anime manga fans are watching, highly suggest you check that shit out. And with that said, that's all I have to say. I know this wasn't like over 5 or 10 minutes. It's usually like 20 or 30 minutes when I do alternative media shit. But it's time I lowered it down. And that's all I gotta say for now. Next one, I'm gonna be doing like top 10 Hoenn Pokemon of all time, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And that's all I gotta say. So like I do say, peace out, everyone. Like I always tell you there on my Nintendo Free channel, it is what it is. Ain't what ain't. See you when I see you guys. Have a good day. Have a good night. Wherever you're at around the world. Don't drink or smoke weed at the same time. Don't do anything reckless. See you soon. See you around. Peace out, ladies. Goodbye. And I'm gonna finish the rest of my little Arizona right there. And you guys be easy, stay safe, and I'm out of here. All right. Talk to you soon. Goodbye. I am gone and out. Late.